Welcome to Collecting Chaos. My name is James, and in this episode, we're going to add a little bit of Tingujo paper to the cover to do some tear seals and to reinforce the spine, and also to reinforce another crease that's on the corner. And that's what we're going to do. And then we'll trim it up and go from there. So let's get to the video and watch it. I forgot to turn the camera on. I put a piece of Tingujo here. I put one here, here, and a long one along the spine already. Now I need to do this one here. This is a little short piece. We'll just take a little bit off. And the shame is that I showed you how to cut this, how to cut the Tingujo paper to get just the right size you needed, and I'll show you that again. Put that down there. And that piece is a little bit longer than what I want, so I'm going to take one of my little brushes here, dip it in some water, run it right across the Tingujo, and the Tingujo comes right off. And that's the way I cut it also. But I'm going to show you that again once I'm done with this. Alright, and we have one more tear over here that needs to be sealed. And one up there that I didn't see. Ooh, nice. Now, could I have used leaf casting to seal these? Sure. But I didn't want to. I have a little tear up there I need to fix. And I have a piece here that'll work. So we'll just put that on. Use the scraps if you can. And I want to reinforce this, so let's cut a piece that's about that size. I have this piece here. Yeah. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my brush, dip it in the water, not the nori paste, and I'm going to go make a line right down there. And then we're going to do another one across. And now the magic happens. When I tear it, it tears right down the wet. Because, of course, wet paper is weak paper. So we use that to our advantage. Now, let's go ahead and... a little too much. And all I'm doing is reinforcing this crease, because I don't want that crease coming off later on. I figure I've got so much Tingujo on this already, it's not going to hurt to reinforce a crease. And I am using nori paste for this. And that's it. Everything's sealed up. I think this might end up being a short video. I don't know. It depends on if it's dry enough when it's done. We need to put another sheet over it. I've got one right here. Then I want to put a... I'm going to put this in my press. I don't need to, but I'm going to. Just to make sure it's flattens out real nice. I'm going to use almost no pressure at all. But I'll be back in a little bit your way. For me, it's going to be a few hours, I think. Okay, I've got that in the press. And I just snugged it down a little bit. It probably didn't have more than about 10, maybe 12 pounds of pressure on it. I just wanted to make sure it was nice and flat. So normally I would just put something over it and deal with it that way. You know, put something over it and then put a little bit of weight on it. And that's basically all I did. I'm cleaning up my desk a little bit. Alright, we're going to take a look at this, but before we do that, I'm going to change my blade in my X-Acto knife. That one's still somewhat sharp, but not as sharp as I would like it. And some people use scalpels. I use X-Acto knives. So let's take a look at this, see how it turned out. Not too bad. I'm not disappointed with that at all. I will have to I'll have to humidify it and press it one more time to make it nice and flat. But that's okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it over, because from the other side I can't see where the corner should be. And we're going to start trimming this. But let me do this right. This is the side that I cut on. Or at least I try to remember that's the side that I cut on. And we're going to start right here with this edge. That's good. We'll cut off this little piece of Pinocchio paper. And up here we have a little bit of pulp. Now I gotta even this out. It's not perfect. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. We're just going to worry about getting it to the center first. And that looks good. I had a piece of Pinocchio there. Needs to come off. And a piece of pulp. It also needs to come off. And we'll move it up. A little tiny bit there. And then a long piece of pulp here. Let's try not to get it on the straight edge. Let's actually try to... Oh, I did cut it. I cut it the first time and then I went on the straight edge. Tried to cut it. Tried to cut the straight edge. Okay, get this like that. Nice. Okay, I'm going to cut this off first. Then we're going to cut off the little piece of Pinocchio. And then we're going to cut off the long piece. Time to get the top. Now I'm going to cut it from here. Cut this bottom piece down here, which is actually the corner. And then we'll cut it up here. And now you see, there's a reason why I did that, like that. And now I can cut this other bit. Little tiny piece. Because it sits a little funny. So, oh, I have one more piece to cut. Look at that. Almost missed a piece of tengujo. There we go. And I have another piece here. And the cover's about done. All I need to do is, like I said, I want to press it again. So I'll humidify it and press it again. And I'm probably going to take a little bit of that off here. See if I can do that with the water and the... Where'd they go? I can't take too much of it off, because if I take too much of it off, I won't have anything to hold the paper on there. Oh, I can't get that off because I have tengujo paper over it. And I can't even feel that. I don't feel any difference when I go over where the tengujo is. Okay, I think that's good enough. Yeah, you see, this is, I know there's a tear seal here, I know there's tengujo, but when I run my finger over it, I can just barely feel it. It feels a little rough there, and that's it. But here, I can't feel it at all. And I'm wondering if, does it even have it on there? Okay, I can see it if I turn it just right. And overall, I think the seal came out pretty good. This one is a little funky, but that's the way it goes. I won't be able to work on the inside. I'll explain it when I go back to me. So, let's do that. Let's go back to me. That's all there was to it. It wasn't, the big deal was it took about 6 or 7 hours for that to finally dry. So it's pretty close to midnight when I'm recording this, which might be why I'm a little tired. But here's the thing. I am not going to be able to start on the inside or the interior wraps until sometime next week, because I have two more copies of the Wondrous Adventures of Pinocchio. One of them is an earlier issue, and one of them is the same issue. And I'm hoping that same issue will have a good first wrap, and I'll just marry it to the other ones. Or maybe it'll be good all the way through, and I'll just put that cover on that one and be done with it. It all depends on what the cover of that one looks like. I mean, if the cover's not that good, I don't have a problem with going ahead and marrying it in there. And so we'll see what happens. Now, before you get all excited about why did you go and spend the money on a good one when you have this one, it's real easy. It cost me about $3, okay? $3. That's, yeah, let's throw the $3 away and the $5 or $6 shipping, whatever they charge. We'll just throw that money away because we don't need it. Okay, that's a lie. We always need money. But we'll just use that money so I can learn something new. And what I'm learning new is marrying inside wraps to a cover. Never done that before. So it's about time I tried. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next Monday. I'll have something. I don't know what yet. Maybe I'll do another comic book basics. I have some boards here that, you know, I might as well board you with boards, right? uh, I might do that. I might talk about bags and boards for comic books on my next comic book basics. I don't know yet. Anyway, we'll see you Monday doing something. And don't forget, next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, Coffee with Chaos. So take care, everybody. Bye.